Hello, and welcome to 107 Off Duty Podcast. My name is Andrew Straley, EMTP, and with me is Clyde, the little sleepy boy.
Hey, I dozed off while he was pooping.
Why'd you have to start with I was pooping? Can you just say...
You were going to get to it eventually.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those horrible facts, eating or being outside and working in the garage, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, gotta poop.
Well, considering 90% of your diet is coffee.
Yeah. Actually, you know what I made the other day? Pork carnitas in the smoker. So pork tacos.
Sounds really good.
It was fucking amazing.
Sounds really good.
I'm almost out of it, which is sad. I should have done more, but it is what it is. It happens. I like to pork.
Every guy does.
Yeah. Yeah, Clyde's a little sleepy boy, so...
Oh, yeah, dude, and it does not make any sense that I'm as tired as I am, because I woke up way later than I usually do today.
Really? Not as late as you did last week.
No.
No. Clyde barely made it to work, apparently, last week.
Yeah. No,
And fell asleep with his face against a window.
No, I woke up at 5:30 this morning.
Really?
Yeah, I have to be at work by 6. Now, like I said, I mean, I've done it before and get up. I can get to work, get dressed and get to work in a half an hour. I mean,
Right.
but yeah, I don't know what it was. I was good to go, and then I got a sandwich in me, and then the sandwich just like, it's nap time, bro.
Oh, beautiful carbs.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to shotgun my nos when I get home just to wake up.
I want to try one of those Bang energy drinks I keep seeing around.
Never heard of it.
No sugar, no carbs, no calories. It's apparently just like
Straight epinephrine.
I think it's more like pre-workout in a can, which is awesome.
What was it? Crank 2? I think it was Crank 2. Maybe Crank 1 with Jason Statham.
Yeah.
Where he had to inject himself with epinephrine.
Epinephrine, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Does
it really work like that? Like if you inject yourself with that much straight adrenaline,
your heart would probably explode.
Yeah, he just ran around town in a...
Because epinephrine speeds up your heart. That's the entire point of it.
Yeah, like,
they did get that right, but those two movies kind of blow. Just
what?
Putting it out there. I'm not
What?
a fan.
Okay. Here's the thing about those two movies. You cannot look at them like serious action flicks. If you look at them like action comedy,
Well,
perfect.
yeah.
But if you look at them as a serious action movie, and by today's standards, even though I mean they're like 10 years old,
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be horrible if you look at it with like just straight action. But action comedy, perfect.
Expendables, that's a good movie.
I like that movie. I like them.
Both of them.
What about
3?
the third?
Are we on the 3?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thor's little brother died in that one.
we've talked about this. My memory is not great, so
Yeah.
I might have seen it, but I cannot recall.
Yeah. Dumb mini Thor, the one that married Hannah Montana. Yeah, he's in that. He dies.
I don't know who you're talking about. I'm just putting it out there.
Liam Hemsworth married Miley Cyrus
Miley Cyrus is married?
to Thor's little brother.
So many things are confusing me about that entire sentence you just said. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass by.
No, like in real life. Yeah, Miley Cyrus
Yeah.
got married to Liam Hemsworth.
Really?
Chris Hemsworth plays Thor.
Okay. That's weird.
Yeah, so Hannah Montana
I'm
married Thor's little
I
brother.
don't know if I'm weirded out more by the fact that she married Chris Hemsworth's little brother, or the fact that she's married. She's kind of weird.
Honestly, dude, something tells me that is a lot of stage.
It's possible.
Like, something tells me she does that just for the publicity of it. Because I mean, think about it. Every time shit starts going really well for him, Kanye West says something stupid as fuck, and people start talking shit about him.
Yeah.
It's free publicity.
He also makes a clothing line for the rich that looks like a homeless man made it.
Yes. That man is an idiot. Okay, let me rephrase that. He's starving for the limelight. There you go.
Well, of course.
I don't think he is built for the whole taking a step back and being like, dude, you're a family man now.
Yeah.
Like, you're married and have kids. Like, you're not young rapper Mr. West.
Right, yeah.
Like, you're just not. Like, chill the fuck out.
Right. So I'm going to... My memory is shitty on most things, but it does bring back a couple of things. You said Miley Cyrus. Do you know what her brother does or who her brother is?
Isn't he in a rock band? He's a guitarist in a rock band.
It's
isn't
not a rock band. It's more like a pop punk band called Metro Station that was like an emo band back in the day.
Metro Station.
Yeah. They had a song that was like, if you go like this, then I go like that. Shake, 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 shake it.
Yeah, okay.
Metro Station.
He's a guitarist for that?
Yes.
No
and he
shit.
looks like an emo fuck.
I've seen
or at
pictures
least
of him.
did. Yeah. But that is Miley Cyrus's. I wonder what Billy Ray Cyrus was thinking, like when his
Can't really say
kids.
shit. I mean, have you seen old pictures of him?
Yes, but he's just like a country guy, and his daughter or his son was a pop punk emo, like rocker dude ish, like radio emo. You know what I mean? Like the emo shit that they played on the radio. But
Yeah.
his daughter was a TV show star with movies that was a country singer that just went fucking weird and started like flossing her cooch with a finger, with one of those foam finger things
Yeah.
on stage.
Yeah.
So
Well, see, thing is, I think people forgot that she was playing a character in Hannah Montana.
right.
So she probably acted like that. Well, not probably exactly like that, but she probably acted out a lot at home.
I don't know. Who fucking knows, really?
Yeah.
You know.
Robot Chicken. Fucking show. They had an episode where she died
If
in
only
Hannah
it was-
Montana.
If only that was real.
And then the two characters that are in Hannah Montana with her
okay.
were like running around doing like a weekend at Bernie's type shit. And
Alright.
the next thing, like, they end up throwing her out a window. She gets run over by a truck, and that's how her body goes. And then the next scene is her like sitting on a chair, like in the fetal position. There's one of the producers like, and that's how we're gonna end the show if you get pregnant like that little Zoe 101 slut.
That's actually super surprising. I'm really surprised she hasn't been pregnant yet. Or has she?
She may have been.
I mean, I'm sure stars have coat hangers too. I just went dark. Sorry.
You did.
I did. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
All right, show's over. Later, guys.
Actually, the fucked up thing is last week's episode was so fucking strange. And I would like to apologize to everybody because it was
I
so
haven't
fucking weird.
listened to it yet.
I was like mealy-mouthed as a motherfucker, like for most of it. I don't know what the fuck it was. I don't know if I was just sleep deprived or what, but it was like mumble mouth. I was like a fucking new rapper. Mumble rap, whatever. Fuck
The
it.
trap rappers.
I guess, whatever. Yeah, it just got weird. I don't know how to put it.
It got bad. Got real bad.
And I had to actually like name the show like We Got Weird because I didn't know how else to put it. Just
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. Every week we come sit in my office and talk about random ass shit. So that's just
Yeah, for
how it
anybody who
goes.
hasn't noticed, we do not script any of this. Literally, I get to his house, and we both look at each other and be like, you got anything to talk about this week? Nope, me neither. All right, let's get started. That is our show every single week. None of this is scripted. We do not look up any of this stuff other than like the few times we like give out statistics or actual facts.
Yeah.
But that's only because it's something that interests us, and we looked it up in our free time anyway.
Yes. That's the thing is like I'll be sitting at home and just like think of something like a story or something that I want to say, and if I don't write it down that I want to say something about it, I'll fucking forget, dude. I'm horrible about that.
Oh, dude, I had like 3 or 4 things I want to talk about this morning, and I didn't write them down because I was at work.
And we're going to pause.
Sorry.
Do you need to take that?
No. Hey, and that's a good ringtone. You know what that is?
Yeah, of course I do.
Yeah. Who is it?
Oh, I don't know which person did it. That thing's been done by everybody.
Oh God, Tom Ellis. I think that's his name.
Okay.
The actor that plays Lucifer.
Oh yeah, you showed me that.
That was actually the ringtone from the episode where he played. Was it All Along the Watchtower?
Okay.
I fell in love with it so much that I just got the ringtone. That's been my ringtone forever.
Fucking fanboy.
Oh, dude, I fell in love with that cover, man.
So last episode we talked about Allison Collins with the whole half marathon thing for.
Hey, has she gotten back to us?
Yeah, actually, she sent us the GoFundMe page for it.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. So, it's called Running for a Superhuman, and it's organized by Allie Collins, ALLYCOLLINS. So, we'll put a link up in Facebook,
Awesome.
But y'all should go check it out. I don't really know how GoFundMe works, so I'm assuming you can just type in Allie Collins and it'll probably pop up. It has like a H and a Superman shield with a cape. So do that. Everybody, go. Break.
Now do us a favor.
What?
Say what the name of the PayPal thing is again, or the GoFundMe thing is again.
I just said it at the beginning.
Kind of mush-mouthed it.
Fuck you, dude.
Just saying.
Support Running for a Superhuman, organized by Allie Collins, ALLYCOLLINS.
Thank you.
Yeah, now fuck off, Clyde. Dickhead.
You're welcome, Miss Collins.
Just meant to make it out to God. I don't know how old this child is that they're. I don't know how old this child is that they're running for, but I hope she never hears us because it's just no bleeps.
No. I was actually talking to a buddy of mine, and I would like to get him on the show.
I actually do this show naked, so
it's
be
true.
glad we didn't do this on YouTube.
His wiener's looking at me. It winked a couple times, and I'm like, I can't even be mad because I'm just kind of impressed. Like, that takes a lot of muscle control.
Kegels, man, Kegels.
I was talking to a buddy of mine.
This tight ass.
I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he plays video games a lot. Well, he actually has records for like Call of Duty games that he doesn't have his own like YouTube show or anything like that, but there have been quite a few other gaming streamers that they feature him.
Really?
Like, he's in there, like he's right up there with the guy who's playing the game, and he's got
not like a
world
Twitch
record.
Streamer or anything.
No,
like
he
that.
doesn't do anything like that. And I've asked him, like, well, why not, dude? Do you realize how much money you can make? And he's like, I like playing the game because I like playing the game.
Let's be
okay.
I don't know how those people make money at it. I didn't start this to make money at it, but it definitely does not make money.
Well, it's a little bit different,
I guess.
Well, we got to figure the gaming community is a lot bigger than the first responders community.
Fuck off, Clyde.
I'm sorry.
They're all one and the same.
You know what? Everyone out there, you should be a little insulted that he just said you guys are basically just gamers.
I know everyone that I work with were gamers, okay? Now, albeit my old partner was really into World of Tanks, so that was a little strange, but I mean, former military, you know.
Fair enough.
So he was just like, I like tanks. Fuck it. Embrace the suck.
But no, I mean, let's just be honest, man. I mean, and you got to figure on top of that, a lot of these guys, they'll put stuff up on YouTube and on Twitch and stuff like that, and it's not just gamers that watch it.
Right.
There are little kids that watch it, stuff like that. Now,
me while I'm pooping.
I don't think parents should let their kids watch some of these streamers because they've got potty mouths.
Yeah.
Just like they should not let them listen to our show.
But let's be honest. Everyone who plays video games has been called a faggot by a 12-year-old somewhere within this world.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
I mean, they don't need to listen to us or anything else to learn that.
My best friend's little brother, he's 18, 19 years old now. Well, within the last couple of years, I got into the habit of whenever I'd go over to his house, I'd kick in his door, and I could hear him playing.
Right.
Everyone in the neighborhood could hear that shit playing. Oh my God. Like, he'd be screaming into his headset. Like, you'd only hear one side of the conversation, but somebody had personally offended his mother. Like, somebody in the world.
Right.
So I would go in there when I'd hear him, like, laughing and yucking it up, talking to his buddies. And I'd grab his headset and just start yelling at him. Just random. And there was one time where he was sitting there, and I didn't even pull the headset off his head. I just grabbed the mouthpiece and bent it back so I could talk into it. And I was like, hey, how do you guys like being in my mouth? And then I stuck his headset in my mouth. And he was like, oh God, Clyde, I can hear it too. Oh, that's weird. Get out of there.
That makes me moister than an oyster.
Ew.
Betty White's fist. There's quite a few videos I've seen, not really recently, but there was like this thing that gamers were doing. It was called swatting, where they would find out where somebody lived that they were gaming with, and while they were Twitch streaming, the SWAT team would come in because somebody somewhere within the United States would find out where this person lived. They would call the police station in that area and say that person had said that they were gonna shoot up a school or something like that.
Yeah, something really jacked up. Now let's make it let's be honest. That's making a false police report, and your ass should get arrested for that shit.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Like, that is not a joke.
Yeah. I mean, if you think at it this way, because I've been a part of a lot of, like, false 911 calls or basically 911 abuse within, like, EMS, but you're taking up resources when you do that shit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Be fucking selective.
And not just that, a lot of people don't know this, but there's some places where they have on-call SWAT members. Like, that's literally what their job is. Like, for that day, you're an on-call SWAT member. Now, you could be at home kicking it with your family, and you get a call. You got to go.
Right.
You got to go right then. Your day is done. Well, imagine sitting at home, wife, 2 kids, dog, beautiful home, sunny afternoon. You had a call.
Dick's in your hand.
You got to go to this. I am making so much more noise than I had meant to.
You are, yeah.
Dude,
Clyde is putting Clyde's putting a new little vape pod in.
And I'm trying to be quiet, but this shit is just
louder. The foil is turning into the third member of this fucking podcast at this point.
Like, it was louder than I had imagined. It's never been that loud before.
Oh, no, it has. But...
I could do it next to my sleeping child, and he wouldn't know. But this, oh my God, I may as well just join fucking Stomp the Yard.
Fucking Blue Man Group over here.
Jesus Christ. Anyway.
Stop fucking with it. You done?
No. Okay. Anyway, you're sitting at home, beautiful day. You get a call, you got to go. Next thing you know, it's an hour later, and you're kicking in the door to some kid who's Twitch streaming. Whoever called that in just ruined this guy's fucking day over a prank. That's messed up.
And let's be real honest. I'm assuming they still have to do a report on it, even if it's false.
Absolutely they do.
Because then you have damage to property and all that other shit.
And not just that, it opens up the city to a liability lawsuit.
Right.
Like, because, you just kicked in their fucking door. Who's going to pay for the door?
Now, this is fucked up. That new pod is louder than the old pod. What the fuck? The
last one was almost out.
So
fresh coils, brah.
Do you even vape, brah? I'm gonna make a statement here, and I apologize. I kind of went back to smoking cigarettes for a week because my coil was all fucked up. I showed Clyde last week.
It looked like a turd.
It was brown.
It was bad.
The juice was not brown. The juice was damn near clear. But yeah, one time when I was a lead medic working with an I or B or something like that, We actually got called to a house fire because they weren't sure if the homeowner was still in there. Well, the sheriff's office had to call in officers for it, and I did not realize this, but the sheriff's department is allowed to come into work if they're on call as long as their BAC is below .08. So as long as they're not over the legal limit, they can still come to work and carry a gun. Because
what?
Yeah, because one of the detectives that was
Any amount of alcohol impairs your judgment a little bit.
well, one of the detectives that was out there, I overheard him talking to the other detective that was there, and was like, "Yeah, I was having a barbecue at my house. I just opened my third beer, and I got the fucking call to come in." And I was like,
"Oh man,
all right then."
Nope.
Let's be real honest though. If you could be on an ambulance and at least have like 3 beers a shift, it'd make life so much easier.
Yeah,
You could handle the stupid.
I was talking to a couple of the old Foundry dogs I talked to, and a couple of them were telling me, they're like, yeah, there was a time when they would let you bring alcohol to work. I'm like,
yeah,
really? And they're like, well, I mean, this was in their lifetime, and he was like, or working career, I should say.
right, yeah.
They're like, yeah, there was a time when you could bring a cold beer with you to work. I'm like, that sounds fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Have an ice cold beer at lunch? Oh man, that'd be awesome.
The old like firehouses before, let's go pre 9/11. They firehouses used to have a beer fridge in it. So
you're not allowed to even have a beer fridge, like there?
No. In fact,
Really?
They don't even want you to respond if you've had any alcohol whatsoever. But back in the day, they would have a beer fridge stocked all the time. They'd have a chain on it or something like that. So you'd go run a 911 call or something like that, go back to the station, and I've seen pictures from like 80s and 90s of the old firemen sitting on the front of the trucks with beers in their hands right after they got done with a call. It was like, that's the old school shit that I wish I could have been a part of, you know? That's the good old days.
And unfortunately, okay, there's an upside and downside to everything. The upside to something like that is that literally does help you build that brotherhood, that camaraderie.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That does help you build it. The downside is you're just going to have that one brother that doesn't cut himself off at 2.
Right.
Next thing you know, Kevin is shit-faced. And there's a call.
Well, then just Kevin wouldn't go. That's when Kevin gets duct taped to a backboard and hung up in the firehouse to wait it out till they get back.
That'd be so fun. Next shift comes in. What the fuck? They forgot me here.
Can you cut me down, dude? Fuck. Actually, the funny thing is, back in EMT class, that was something we
Did they steal your clothes too? Yes.
Is that a duct tape cocksock? What the fuck is that? Back in EMT class, when we were practicing with backboards and stuff like that, because if you actually immobilize somebody on a backboard properly, they can't move. We hung one of the young kids to the flagpole on a backboard.
Funny that you say cocksock, because there is a time when I lived in an apartment and I was the only one on the lease. Okay, so technically I was the only one that was supposed to be living there.
Right.
But 2 of my closest friends in the world and my girlfriend lived there also. So yeah, there were 4 people living in this apartment that I was supposed to be living in, and that is it.
Were they helping you with the rent?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Absolutely.
I see nothing wrong with this. Continue.
No, the apartment just didn't like that.
Right.
And I remember I used to sleep naked at the time.
All right.
Yeah. And there was about a month straight before my two buddies sat me down and were like, this is not okay. Where I would get up in the middle of the night and be thirsty or something. Instead of getting on clothes, I'd just throw a sock on my dong and walk out in the apartment.
Swinging dicks, man. Just
go into the kitchen,
dicks.
get a can of Mountain Dew, stand there, just drain it, throw it in the trash, and grab another one as I'm going back to my bedroom. I'm like, hey guys, I'm like, what's up, man?
Scratching your butthole on the way out. Yeah. Actually, the funny thing is the old drummer from John and I's band back in the day, his wife always said that she would knit me a cock sock. And I just wanted a finely crocheted like cover for my genitalia, like ball sack, maybe a little cinch like right at the top, so that I could comfortably keep my
She stitches the word "the sheath" into it, running along it.
keep my pangus warm in the wintertime.
Now this is not my story. This is a story I was told. When the people I lived with that took me in when I was 18,
Right.
I was living with them for a while, and Pops, that's what I started calling him after a while. He was telling me a story about his brother. Like back in the 90s, mid to late 90s, they would party all the fucking time. All the time. And his younger brother, Jay, was rambunctious.
Okay.
Every time there was two things he would always have on him. Those were his Chuck Taylors. He would only ever wear Chuck Taylors. And this bright orange, like, stocking cap.
Like a hunter's stocking cap.
Yeah, but he was in a rock band and, all this kind of stuff. Even in the middle of the summer, bright orange stocking cap. Like, that was just kind of his calling card. Like, you see that stocking cap, is probably Jay.
That's how you find him in Walmart. Yeah.
Well, I guess they got really, really shit-faced one night. And they were all partying and drinking. And the next thing you know, here comes Naked Jay running through the house. Stocking cap and cock sock on. And that is it.
That is wonderful.
Goes outside and he is running up and down the road. And he's jumping on cars.
Oh, my God.
The cops come. And they're like, yeah, well, we got a report of this. Now, at the time, they knew quite a few of the cops.
Right.
And they were like, hey, listen, we know who it was. We know he's in there. You got two options. Keep him in there the rest of the night or send him out now and he's going to jail. And they're like, no, officer, we promise. He's going to be good. He is fine for the rest of the night. He is not going anywhere. And Pops, he's like, I will knock him out myself if I have to. And he was like, are they okay? Fine, you're good. And they left. My Pops says, he's like, they get in their cars and drive away. And I hear from the kitchen, he's trying to do it again. Pops turns around to go in there because he's going to hit him. He's going to knock him out.
Right,
so
yeah.
And as soon as he turns around.
Go to sleep, bitch. Go to sleep.
As soon as he turns around, orange hat and cocksock plows into him and goes right back outside.
Oh, fuck.
Just jumping on cars again.
I'm telling you what, dude. Like, I'm a car guy, so somebody jumps on my car, that's a good way to get yourself killed.
Oh, see, he was a car guy too. So like the really, really nice cars, he wouldn't do it to. But
Okay.
I mean, he sees a fucking Alero sitting out there. Oh, that shit's getting it.
Oh my God.
This is the same guy. He got into a low-speed car chase back in like '98 or something like that.
Okay.
And he was going over the Garfield Bridge.
All right.
Yeah. He said there was two cops behind him. And he's like, I was only going like 30 miles an hour. I just didn't stop. Like, that's the only reason there was a car chase. He's like, I was drunk. I just didn't stop. Gets up over the edge. He kind of starts coming down. His car fucking dies. So at this point, he's coasting down the other side of the fucking bridge. And he looks down. And now he's telling me, he's like, dude, I was shit-faced. That's why I didn't pull over. And I wasn't thinking. Now he's a well-rounded, functioning member of society.
Right,
but he has got some stories, man. And he's like, and I look down there and there are three cars blocking off the road and cops are out of their vehicle. They're out of their vehicles and you could tell they're like have their hands on their gun, like they're ready to go.
Right.
I'm like, He's like, so I did what any normal functioning member of society, I don't know how he said it, no, any other functioning drunk of society would do. About 30 feet from the end, when his car's only going like 6 miles an hour, he jumps out and tries to run to the edge where he can jump off. It's only like a 5-10 foot drop. So he can disappear into the neighborhoods down there.
Yeah.
He said, I got out of the car, tripped, got back up, He's like, if I didn't trip, I would have made it. He got to that railing, and he was like, boom! He got nailed by the biggest, baldest, copyist son of a bitch there was. He's like, oh, man, they took me off my feet. I was cuffed so fast, I don't even know where I was.
Game over. Man, speaking of old school shit, like, because I started in fire and EMS in like mid 2000s, so 2009, 2010 maybe.
I was still in high school.
Right.
I actually just started high school.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
But
Like,
one of the
2009. I started in 2007, so I was a sophomore, junior, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's such a baby.
Yeah.
He took a little nappy poo on my chair.
I lost my fucking pen. I found it. Don't worry.
Yeah, one of the guys that didn't really run any of the calls on the fire department or anything. He was more just like he could operate an engine like a motherfucker, but he was an old cop. Like back in the day, he was a sheriff's officer. He would tell some fucking stories, and people that grew up around this area told some stories about him too. Like when he was a cop, he was like a huge alcoholic apparently. So he would get off shift and buy a 30-pack of beer and have it gone by the time he got home.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
And if any of the high schoolers were running around with alcohol in their car, he wouldn't write them a ticket.
Confiscate it?
He'd confiscate it and drink it while he was in his rig. Man. I'm like, that's a different time. People can sneeze wrong and get in trouble these days. You know what I mean? It's such a different world.
It's good. Honestly, one of my favorite comedians said it once, and it was a joke, and it was funny when he was talking about it. But it's actually kind of serious too.
Yeah.
Mike Birbiglia.
Oh, I love that dude.
Oh man, one of the funniest sons of bitches I've ever seen. And he was talking about how everything's sold with a camera now. He's like, "Would you like this grapefruit? It comes with a camera." He's like, "Why does it come with a camera?"
Jesus. I actually I put a post up shared a post on my Facebook wall a couple of days ago, and it's a picture of Deadpool, and it says, "How the fuck did a generation raised on South Park and Family Guy become so offended by everything?" It's like there's truth to that, because I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, believe me, there's sometimes I talk to my old classmates, and they'll be like, they'll start spouting off about some politically correct thing, and I'm looking like, we played ass tag when we were freshmen. Like, you can't be that politically correct considering that you would literally run around grabbing people's asses all day.
Right.
Like, come on. Come on. Well, I was young and dumb. Like, yeah, but you still fucking did it. So stop trying to act all holier than thou.
And maybe that made you a better person. What?
I'm not really sure. We can use the argument that ass tag makes you a better person.
I don't know, man. Like, people like
increased hand-eye coordination.
I mean, the fucking stupid shit I did when I was growing up definitely made me a better person, you know. So it is what it is. It's not necessarily what you do; it's what you learn from what you do.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. What is one of the hardest lessons you have ever had to learn?
Just because your friend calls you an asshole when you're 13 or 14 doesn't necessarily mean you need to punch him in the face.
That's a good one, actually.
I have a story about that from when I was a kid. I was best friends with two brothers, okay? And one of them was younger than the other one by probably like 3 years, and I was closer in age to the younger one than I was the older one. And so me and the younger one, like, he was one of the guys that, like, when I started listening to metal music, he got into metal music too, so we had similar tastes. We you know. The older one was more into country music and, like, just not more straight-laced, I guess.
Right.
Me and the younger one were definitely more adventurous and stuff like that. We'd like ride mini bikes around the yard whenever he'd come over to my house and stuff like that. I mean, we had a good time. Now the older one, when I was 13, he was probably 15 or something like that.
Okay,
so he kind of turned into one of those cocky guys, I guess. Like,
fair.
Yeah, he always wore button-up shirts and, always,
I called them preppies when I was in school.
It kind of ish. He wasn't really preppy, but he wasn't really one of those down and dirty kind of people like me
My
and his
kind
brother were.
didn't like preppy in school.
But, yeah, I was over at his house one day, and me and his brother were,
Now that I think about it, I think the only girls I dated in high school were preppy.
You are a conundrum wrapped up in an enigma.
I think they just dated me to piss mommy and daddy off.
I know. Yeah. So I was at their house one day, and me and his brother were hanging out, playing around, doing stupid shit, like not giving a fuck really, which is what most of my life has been. Is just meh. I'll do whatever's fun.
So give it a shot.
Right. And go. But his brother came up to me and he was like, you guys are just so immature, blah, 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 whatever. And you know what? You're kind of acting like assholes. So without even thinking, I just went and popped him upside the head. And I'm like, oops.
He deserved it.
That probably was not the appropriate response.
Oh, he deserved it.
Yeah, I know. But it's still one of those things. I was still young enough where it was like, I'm going to get in fucking trouble. And somebody's going to whoop my ass with something. So, yeah. I mean, that's just kind of my...
Oh, let's see.
I could probably, given enough time, come up with something better than that, but...
Well, this is on the spot. We already talked about it. This show is not scripted.
Right.
Make sure the window's up first.
Okay.
I don't know if I ever told the story on the show.
Probably not.
The hooker?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Ooh, but I have a good story about hookers.
I lived on Edward Street.
Right.
And in the town that I live in now, the major metropolitan area that we're in, Edward Street is where you go when you're lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lonely with a couple of bucks.
Yes.
Ain't nothing free on Edward Street.
No. And that is where I live. Like, I cannot tell you how many times I have talked to people now. And they're like, Clyde, Sam, you're pretty intelligent, man. You must have had a pretty good life growing up. I'm like, well, I mean, I grew up just south of Chicago. And then I was like, I lived on Edward Street. And they're like, what? You grew up on Edward? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, dude, that's the projects. I'm like, yeah. For our area, yeah, that is the projects.
I want to set the mood of this street
okay.
for just 1 second.
Okay.
Because there is a house on Edward Street.
What 100 block, do you know?
It's just north of the tracks. So it's like right at the start of Edward Street.
Okay, that'd be like the 400 or 500 block. I lived on 1200.
Okay. You were deep into
Yeah, I lived just south of Grand.
This is the beginning of the ghetto. But there is a home.
When that lady was killed at the gas station, I lived across the street from her. I heard the gunshot.
No shit.
Yeah.
Damn. At the beginning of this street, there's a house that has a plywood sign on its fence that says, "Hookers, don't hang out in front of here." That's all it says.
I know that house. I used to hang out with somebody that lived in that house.
No shit.
I used to get into fights with people that lived in that house.
Okay, all right.
The grandkids.
Right.
Yeah. They were about my age. There was like 50 of them. And not really that many. It was like 4 sets of twins and like 3 or 4 oddballs mixed in there. Every other set of twins or something like that.
What the fuck?
So, yeah, there was a lot of kids.
They're a breeder.
Oh, well, and they aged from like... By the time I met them, when I was like 10 or some were adults, and the youngest one was like 8.
Nice.
Yeah, so I mean, they did
a lot of fucking.
Yeah, there was a big span in there, and it seemed like they just got worse the younger they were. Like the oldest ones were really well rounded.
Right.
Like, they were just functioning members of society.
Those
they didn't
parents
mess
were
with...
so tired at that point.
And by the end of it, it's just like, you're going to be in prison by the time you're an adult. I know you are.
Here,
like, you're going straight from juvie to get on the bus to go to big boy prison.
I know you're 8, but here's your first baggie of meth. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you a jump start.
Anyway, I lived on the 1500 block of it when this happened, because we moved to a slightly better neighborhood 3 blocks north.
Okay.
Yeah, not a lot better. It was just once you jumped Grand Street, it kind of got a little better.
The area where we live is kind of like one of those maps of how the snowfall is going to come in this area, where you have like, oh, it's only this section that's kind of shitty, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then slowly closes back down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, this is only 3 inches of shit. Here's 4 inches of shit. Oh my god, you're getting 12 inches of shit here.
Yeah.
Oh, here's another 2 inches. Okay, we're back to normal.
Yeah. Pretty much the central area of the town is just bullshit. Like, just automatic bullshit. Like, it's like 3 miles wide, and there's sections of it that are just worse than others.
Yeah.
Well, I lived in one of the really shitty sections when I moved down here. And I lived on Edward Street, and my best friend, we were like 12 maybe.
Okay.
We found this giant rubber band that was for like a model plane.
Okay.
And we cut it, and we
I
pulled
would
it across.
I would like to point this out that Clyde just held his hands out like he was measuring a fish, and I really thought he was going to go dildo on this one.
No.
Okay.
No. And we pulled
I wouldn't
this
have been
rubber
surprised
band
in that
all the
area.
way across this big picture window, because there's this big picture window in my bedroom.
Okay.
At the time, and I'm on the 2nd floor, and we see a hooker walking up and down the road. Now, we've been shooting shit out of my window all fucking night. We had it open by like 6-7 inches, and we were taking like little chess pieces and checker pieces and fucking jacks and all these kind of things, just shooting them out the window with this rubber band.
Oh, a jack would be great.
Oh man,
Little spiky motherfucker.
Yeah.
Nice.
But we have this thing stretched, and this guy pulls up, and they're talking. You can't really hear him, but you already know what he's doing. He's picking up a hooker.
Right, yeah.
And she gets in. And me, I'm not thinking about it. It's my turn to shoot at something. I look at him, I was like, I'm going to shoot their window.
Oh my god.
Oh,
did it
my
break?
God. No, the window was still open. I took this fucking checker piece, and I was like, and I shot it, and it flew through the window, hit the windshield, and started bouncing around inside the car.
Amazing.
And he floored it, and she is screaming. She's like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh my god.
Oh man, I've never seen somebody floor it so well.
That is fucking
I saw somebody floor
perfect.
it once faster than that, and that's only because the drug house, 2 houses down, the guy comes running out, jumps into a car, 3 other guys come running after him, and one of them standing in the middle of the road shooting at his car with a little .22.
Oh,
yeah,
little baby pistol. Nice.
I mean, it was easy to conceal. I mean, he didn't even know it was in his hand until he held his hand up and started pulling the trigger. Like, pretty good idea. It was, yeah, that was the only time I saw somebody drive away faster.
Now, kids, realize that when this story happened, it was around college, which was like 2005, 2006. Okay? Now,
I was in the 7th grade.
Think about this. Between 80s and 90s to the 2000s, it was an entirely different world there. Between 2006 and now is definitely an entirely different world.
Yeah.
John and I found out that if you... on the same street that Clyde grew up on, we found out that at Saturday nights, if you keep a bag of gummy bears in your car and a couple of them in your mouth and you throw them at a hooker, they'll stick.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We did a lot of stupid shit.
There was actually...
but it was fun.
2 hookers in that area I knew by name.
Chlamydia and herpagonisyphilitis?
No. Barbie was one of them. And I was a kid.
Bloody Sherry.
I'm only 10 years old when I meet this girl.
Okay.
And so at 10 years old, I didn't know who the fuck she was.
You're looking for a good time, honey?
No, actually, she was just like, I just thought she was just a regular lady. Really did.
She's a nice lady.
I really thought she was just a regular lady. Like, she talked like she wasn't any of that like TV program hooker, like where they were wearing like fucking
knee-high fishnets.
Yeah. Like fishnets and thigh-high boots.
Wasn't coughing
and,
up white stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
None of that. She was just standing on the end of the corner. She had blue jeans on, a hoodie. Well, me and a couple buddies start talking to her, and she's such a sweet lady. I mean, and then we find out like a month later, my grandma's like, "Yeah, don't talk to her anymore." I'm like, "Why not? What's wrong with her?" And she's like,
"She's a hooer."
She's like, "She's a lady of the night." I'm like, "A vampire?"
Like, well, she sucks something, son.
No,
just
she's like,
not
she's
blood.
like, no, she's a prostitute. I'm like, "What's a prostitute?" She's like, she has sex for money. I'm like, "You can do that?" And she's like, "Okay, yeah, not where I thought this conversation was gonna go." She's like, "Don't talk to her anymore." I'm like, "Okay." The only other one I knew was Sparkles. Sparkles was a man.
Yep, no Sparkles. Ran him many times.
Reggie?
Yep.
That's his real name. Mm-hmm. Yep. My uncle.
Sparkles used to walk up and down the alley behind the ambulance service.
Really?
Late at night. And my partner, who was a female, would be like, "Looking good, Sparkles!" And he'd be like, "Oh, girl, I know!"
Honestly, my uncle used to go to a bar down there on Saragordo Street.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of the ghetto.
Uh-huh.
Like, if you're a few shades too pale, they fuck with you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, he used to go down there and drink. Like, he knew everybody, so everybody liked him.
Right.
And he'd be down there drinking. And yeah, I told him one time, I was like, "Yeah, you know," he's like, I mentioned Sparkles. And he was like, "Oh, I know Sparkles." "How the fuck do you know Sparkles?" And he was like, "Goes in the bar and drinks." I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, his real name is Reggie, dude. Once he gets off shift, he's just a normal guy." I'm like, I cannot picture Sparkles just being a normal guy.
Sparkles, one time, I ran him because he had an infection in his scrotum.
Oh.
And his ball sack was the size of a grapefruit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Other than the kind of like, I wouldn't say weird shit, but I think he was doing it just for a chuckle for himself.
Maybe.
Where I feel bad for him because I actually genuinely liked the dude once I got a little older and I started realizing what kind of person he was.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, he was a prostitute, but whatever. He was just making a living. He was just doing what made him happy. Because he didn't have a pimp.
Right.
He was a free agent. Like, he just did what made him happy.
Like, I like sucking dick. Fuck it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "I got getting paid for it, too." Mm-hmm. But
that's beer money for the weekend, motherfucker. Go ahead.
But, no, whenever he'd see skater boys, like just little skateboarders, oh, dude, he would mess with them. I was a skater. So, I mean, he would mess with me, too. He'd be like, "Hey, skater boy."
Yeah.
Dude,
mm-hmm.
Yeah. And as fucking 13, 14-year-old kid, I'm like, "Oh, ew."
Right,
I'm like kicking off even faster, like trying to get the fuck out of there. But like as an adult, you're like, he just had a fucked up sense of humor.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I'd probably kick it with him now.
Oh, the funny thing is that, yeah, he was a decent dude. He would always, hang around like right behind the ambulance barn or whatever. I mean, he was a decent guy or whatever. There's another, and I'm sure that you know this chick, or at least have seen her around.
Sherry?
Bloody Sherry.
I don't call her Bloody Sherry because I don't know why the hell you call her that. But yeah,
uh-huh.
I've got a couple stories about her.
I've got a good story about her. It's kind of shitty because it's very much EMS related, but she is the person who has, honest to God, done assault and battery on me twice while in the ambulance.
That does not surprise me.
Well, where we live, or in this state, it is a Class X felony to assault or batter a healthcare professional in the line of duty. So if you're
Really?
trying to do your job, it's supposed to be a Class X felony, non-pleadable. Well, I actually got called to court for the latest one.
Oh, the one where she just got locked up?
No, this was years ago. Like,
Oh, okay.
probably 3 or 4 or 5 years ago or something like that.
Oh, that's where she disappeared to.
No, even worse than that. Since it's a Class X felony and they're not supposed to plead it down, you know what the courts did?
What?
Fucking pled it down.
What?
As soon as she saw me in the courtroom waiting to go on the stand, she talked to her lawyer. Her lawyer went and talked to the state's attorney, and the state's attorney gave her a plea deal. So yeah, it's like,
no shit.
you make a law to protect the healthcare workers, but you don't even fucking enforce it the way it was meant to be enforced. How in the fuck does that? And this is a crazy bitch too.
Oh yeah, no, she's an absolutely nut job, man.
She has been kicked off of basically every business property
She's ever
in
touched?
the city. Yes. And she is one of those people. She is fucking crazy enough. If you have your passenger door unlocked, she will just get in and ask you to take her places. It's like, bitch, get the fuck out. No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I think you're the one telling me a story. She actually did that to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, you don't fucking recognize me out of uniform, but last time we talked, you hit me. And get the fuck out, or you're leaving with an extra hole. Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
No,
they call her Bloody Sherry because she wouldn't wear pads when she was on her
oh,
period.
no.
So
cut it off right there. No.
It would all get red all the way down.
Yeah, no, that woman already disgusts me. Like, yeah, I don't say that about anybody, but I'm sorry. Like, you cannot give up on yourself that much as a human being, and for me to still consider you a human being.
Yeah.
Just saying, like, and
she
for
even
anybody
has a
out
fucking
there,
house apparently.
well, what's that?
I think she even has a house or lives
Yeah,
in
does.
a house somewhere.
I actually have a buddy who had to serve her papers at her apartment, and because they're okay. She got arrested recently. That's why you haven't seen her on the streets lately.
Thank
she got
God.
arrested, and she's actually in prison now, which makes
fucking
me
finally
really glad.
should have been 5 years ago whenever she fucking hit me.
Oh yeah, which makes me really glad that I'm not a correctional officer anymore, because I guarantee she would have gone to a minimum security.
Right.
Guarantee it. And I just wouldn't want to deal with her ass.
Yeah.
So, her mugshot ended up making the rounds in our area.
I think I saw it. Maybe.
Yeah. And she's doing the fake cry and everything like that, and people were making fun of her. And then you had all these other people who'd never had a run-in with her,
Yeah.
jumping to her defense. And it's like, all right, first of all, shut the fuck up. Like, you've never had a run-in with that woman. If you did, you wouldn't be saying it.
Yeah.
Like, and for anybody listening who thinks I'm just being an asshole, thinks Drew's just being an asshole.
No. Mm-mm.
No, like, seriously, we're actually being nice considering what this woman has done and what we've seen her do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to lose viewers. That's all I'm saying.
Oh no. Like, I think the first one where she actually did hit me was she was getting trespassed from a property, and when she knew she was getting trespassed off the property by the cops, she faked a seizure. And
Yeah.
so literally she just dropped herself down and started flopping and then stopped. Well, they called the ambulance. We got there, and I'm like, oh, it's Sherry.
She heard one of the cops go, if she's faking, I'm tasing her.
No, even worse than that was like, I looked at one of the cops and I said, I guarantee she's faking it. And I said, well, there has been no apparent seizure here. And every time I would say the word seizure, she'd start shaking again. Like, you're faking it, dude. You're fucking faking it.
Yeah.
And how she actually did hit me was when she stopped, the cops were like, well, we can't fucking take her. You guys have got to take her. We'll follow you to the hospital. We went to go pick her up, and she literally headbutted me with this nasty ass afro that she had. That, like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there were bed bugs living in there with
Yeah.
camping equipment, and she just like smacked me right in the face with it, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna take a bath with some alcohol wipes.
No, let's see. One of the funnier ones I think I may have told this story before. I didn't actually say her name, but I'm pulled up at a stoplight, and there's a cop directly in front of me, and Sherry's walking across the road. Well, the cop kind of leans out the window and he's like, "Excuse me, ma'am." She just keeps walking. "Excuse me, ma'am." Keeps walking. "Ma'am?" She turns around and goes, "I'm not Sherry," and then runs for it. I've never seen cops get out of a car so damn fast. Dude, they were on her before she made it 10 feet.
Oh, my God.
On her, and I had her on the ground. I'm like, ugh, they're in front of me. I don't know if I can go around.
Not Sherry, but just weird shit you see whenever you're on the job. Now, not my last service, but the service before was in the Capitol, and on the weekends, down the main street of the city, there are many bars, and our ambulance service would post up, basically all down the street, so that way we could kind of monitor what was going on at the bars. I have seen more guys get shit-faced and start pissing in the middle, like pissing into the street. And the funny thing is the cops would actually like post up right near us so we could bullshit and talk and stuff like that. And I've seen more cops go, "Oh, motherfucker," and go over to a guy pissing in the street and go, "Are you fucking serious?" "What?" "Oh, God." Because the cops would hide, the cops would hide behind the ambulances so they couldn't see the cops. That was fun. And actually, the same town that we're talking about, where Sherry is, me and my partner were driving back from the hospital to go to the barn at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Actually, right down from the bar that you were talking about.
In Cerro Gordo?
Yeah, some dude just fucking standing on the road, just peeing right in the main drag, and like, this is just a good town. Yep. I love this. So
dude, honestly, one of the things that always cracked me up about that whole neighborhood was there were cars on the side of the road in front of every fucking house.
Mm-hmm.
But you never saw a car on the road itself.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Everyone's car, either they didn't have gas money or their car was broken down somehow.
Yep.
I am so glad they don't have street cleaning laws in our town like they do up north.
Yeah.
Where up north, you cannot park on the road on certain days between X time and X time.
Yeah, or if it snows.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you cannot park on the road. And that is one of the things that when I came down here threw me off. Because I was so used to it. Like, what about the street sweepers? Like, they'll go around. What?
All right, so one last thing before we like wrap this motherfucker up. You asked.
We've been talking about nothing for the last hour.
It's been great. I think it was still more cohesive than the last week.
I haven't gotten to last week's episode.
So you asked me right before we started how my interview went, because last week I told you, hey, I have an interview for a plasma center and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The interview went fucking perfect.
Oh,
and yeah, like everybody that I met there was super nice. They were, really excited to have me join and stuff like that. You got to remember, I'm 30 years old, so I'm changing my career path even for a short period of time is kind of an odd thought for me, I suppose. Like, I'm kind of set in my ways and stuff. So, after the interview, they were like, "We'd love to have you. You have all the, experience that we would like to get, around here." They were willing to work with my schedule really well and stuff like that. But, I had a couple of questions, and especially with how far I would have to drive. That was one thing. I just wanted to, like, calculate what the gas mileage was going to be and how much I would spend per week to go there and all that stuff.
Right. Because, I mean, where you had your interview was what? Like
50 minutes away. It was almost an hour.
Yeah. Hey, get out of here, you little turd burglar.
Cat's fucking with Clyde.
Yeah, potato cat. Remember that?
So, yeah.
I'm going to bully my cat. He looks like a potato.
So, yeah, I got along with everybody that I met there. Everything went great. And I told him, I was like, because I was like, well, give me a couple days. I want to not only talk it over with, like, my dad and stuff like that, but I want to, like, do some calculations. If I have any more questions, I'll ask you. And the only question that I thought of right afterwards was, insurance. They didn't tell me about insurance. So I asked him, and I was like, okay, well, I will get with you by the end of the day tomorrow on, what I'm going to do. And I ended up going with, hey, this is going to be a good idea. It's a good opportunity. I'm going to go for it. As I was texting the person over the hiring, she sent me a text. This just goes to show you how shitty my luck is right now.
Oh.
She sent me a text that said, "Hey, we really enjoyed meeting you. You seem like you'd be a really good fit. We had 2 more interviews today, and the positions are filled. We'd like to keep you on the list if we need any more people." And I was like, "Well, that's good, but I was literally just texting you to tell you I'd take the job." So yeah, that's
Yeah. That's shit, man. I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's what happened. And that's the thing, is like,
Hey,
who knows?
we need foundrymen.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, not sure about that one.
And that's a pretty big career change right there.
Yes, it is.
Man, look at it like a pizza delivery gig, man. You're not going to do it forever.
I've got a couple more applications in my resume in at a couple places, so just kind of waiting to hear what's going on with those things. So
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I'll probably. I know I'm gonna put a couple more applications and stuff in at different places. But yep, that's just how shitty my luck is recently. Like literally typing the text to say, "Hey, I thought about it. I'll take it," and then it's like 3 texts come in. I'm like, "Oh fuck, god damn it!"
You should have finished the text. And then like, oh, I pushed send before that. I hit send on that like 2 hours ago.
Dibs.
You offered it to me first, you bitch.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'll probably end up messaging this chick later and see what she has to say. So I don't know.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, you've wasted definitely another hour on this.
Sorry, guys.
Love you. Hope you liked it. We did some good. We talked about cock socks.
By the way, those were the exact words Drew used after the first time he had sex. What? Sorry, guys. Love you. Hope you enjoyed it.
Look, I'm white. There's 3 words I never have to worry about hearing. Ow, my cervix. So, there you go. Yeah, go check out the GoFundMe for that little girl that's going through bone cancer, and see if you can't help out Allie Collins, because I think that'd be awesome if we could get this little community that we've created to rally around something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And buy shirts, fuckers.
Throw that in there.
Look, I've still got some larges and mediums, and I think a couple of extra larges. So, fucking email me and buy these damn shirts off me. $13. You can't get any cheaper. Okay. 13 shipped. All right. Just got to get the money back out of them. And if you guys are running in this thing, buy shirts so you can wear them to it. Okay. It's a good marketing ploy, right?
I kind of sound like a douche.
I don't mean it that way. I just need the money, please. Somebody help them and help us, cause things. Yep. Thank you guys for joining us. Again, if you have questions or anything else you want to let us know about, send us an email 107offduty@gmail.com. No dash. Get us on Facebook and Twitter at 10-7 off duty, and messages there too if you want to. Always go check out our friends. I think I fucked up and called it GCS 18 for the level 0 coffee last week. It's actually GCS 16, so I was off by 2 maybe. If I was, you got the point, I think. So go to Black Rifle Coffee, check out GCS 16 coffee from level 0, who are friends of ours too, and you can use the discount code 107 off duty to get 15% off your Black Rifle Coffee shit. And they will not necessarily give you coffee shits, but do it anyway.
If you drink like Drew does, they will.
Battle shits. Also, check out medicelement.com. and use the discount code MEDIC18 to get buy one get one free on stickers, because everybody needs a sticker. I've actually started stickering up my my little Arctic Yeti type cup. So.
And his cat. He's putting stickers on his cat.
And my penis. Thanks, guys. See you later.
Bye.